The following announcement is paid for by the Wrestling with Nerds.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey there, the name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. For some unknown reason, enjoy.
This honky tonk man, greatest intercontinental champion of all time, and you're watching Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Yes, that's my favorite. Shake, rattle, and roll.
What's going on, wrestling nerds, and welcome to this week's episode of the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. We are going to break down what happened on SmackDown and Backlash from this past weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun, but joining me today is the other half of J&J Security, Mr. TJ Barnier.
Yeet, my brother. We are guru-less on this fine evening. The guru he had to sleep before work. You know, he drives those truck things at night, and life happened in between, and my guy wanted to sleep. You don't sleep. It's overrated. Do it when you're dead. You know, I mean, whatever. So this is kind of like where I feel like me and you would cut to that backstage like vignette of like, oh, you know, Aldous is off for the night. We'll keep the show running in order without the GM, right? You know,
Yeah,
we got
basically
this.
inmates running the asylum.
Oh, I have a feeling the guru will be watching, so let's be on our best P's and Q's. Yes, good. Okay, glad we talked about it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm usually on my best P's and Q's. You...
Maybe I was encouraging myself to behave without the boss around. Okay? Okay. Hey! Uncle! No, we ain't calling Uncle.
All right.
No giving up.
All right, TJ. Well, you basically made us the set list. Why don't you start with the very upsetting news that we got over this weekend?
Yeah, we lost. I mean, I'm gonna call him a legend. If you say ECW, one of the first people I think of is Sabu. We sadly lost Sabu. I believe it was ballpark 60 years old, something like that. My math don't math today. It's a Monday. We ain't mathing on a Monday. Ryan was just telling us this weekend he had done an interview recently with somebody, and he looked all of those big spots old.
Oh no.
You know, the like I said, you say ECW, he's one of like 5 people that I think of. Him, Sandman, the Dudley Boys, like, you know, Bam Bam Bigelow and Taz going through a ring, like those are the memories. Dude was crazy good at what he did, crazy in the ring. And I feel like, unfortunately, this is just the day and age we live in where it's like, you know, we're going to keep getting these legends of the past that are just, time has not been beat and will continue to go undefeated. And sadly, we're going to lose our heroes after our heroes forever. And this is why I felt like we take these moments to celebrate them. I don't have like the Wikipedia spreadsheet in front of me. A dude won 100 million titles. You got that? You want to do that part?
I'm not gonna do all of them, but I'll do some
big ones.
Some big ones. Obviously, the first thing you think of when you think of Sabu is ECW.
Ollie's company.
Won that championship 2 times. Was a World Tag Team Championship with ECW 3 times. Once with Taz and twice with Rob Van Dam. Their television title. He's the second ECW Triple Crown champion. Hardcore Hall of Fame. Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. New Japan Pro Wrestling. We've talked about that on the channel. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion and UWA World Junior Light Heavyweight Championship.
I feel like he's another one that would have made the WWE Hall of Fame in time, being alive, because I don't think anybody expected this early of a passing from him.
No,
now he'll probably end up going in as an in memorandum, whatever that. I can't. Again, it's Monday. But yeah, I mean, guy is synonymous with hardcore wrestling. And I mean, like, I can remember him and coming in, doing his shtick, and then we get Sandman with, enter Sandman, and like the building going crazy, and these guys like, tearing the house down, light tubes, and you name it. Guys were crazy. I mean, it was a whole different era of hardcore compared to now. Safety was not a paramount. It was, what can we do for AEW still thinks that way, but that's not here or there.
It caught people.
Yeah.
It caught a lot of people. He was one of the reasons why they got that barely legal pay-per-view that was at 1 in the morning.
Because maybe you shouldn't be watching this. But just also
kudos
to him. Feel hearts out for his family and stuff. It's just
friends, family, colleagues.
Again, untimely. 60s is not an age we expect these guys to be going. 70s, 80s, okay, but no.
But I will say I'll give them a little credit at PWI. He was ranked number 5th in 1995, and still 2003. 86, so he was still turning. Ryan just said he was still moving and grooving, and unfortunately you see the wear and tear after all.
Just had a retirement match, Mania weekend, I believe.
How many times have you had a retirement match?
I swear, Ryan, I heard him last night say something about just had a retirement match Mania weekend. So this is me trying to listen to the guru and guru from the guru.
And
these are the things what we miss when we don't have our GM here.
Right. And one last time, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying maniac, Sabu.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember in my mind some of the highlight. If you played the YouTube highlights, you'd be like, "Oh damn, he not dead? That didn't kill him? Why, you good, man?"
Well, Mike even said it in the chat. The title is coming to the ECW chair shot to the head of Mysterio.
Yeah.
And I just picture their one-night stand match. That it went to a stoppage. They didn't finish it. And everybody wanted more of it.
Well, it's ECW. If you weren't John Moxleying in the ring, But
right, shall we go
SmackDown it?
Go, yeah, right off to SmackDown. TJ, I know you're very excited with a couple things that happened.
Well, I'll touch on what kicked off the show. It bled into Backlash. It was Priest, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Solo, and Jacob. Like, that was what kicked off the show. I kind of didn't feel like those moments we really needed to cover because it was all Backlash stuff. We'll get to it. The big one for me was Zelina Vega was having a tag team match against one of the Secret Harvest members, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, and a mystery partner for Zelina, which was the returning Miss Bliss. Came back, very happy. TJ happy now.
I heard you from Connecticut.
I'm sure you did. I'm surprised the Eastern Seaboard didn't see me go, what? Because I jumped out of my chair.
I'm happy your mic didn't key up that whole time.
I was not expecting her in that spot, but I was very pleased.
I mean,
the crowd,
she's from Columbus.
It made sense. If you'd rubbed your crystal ball and told me, hey, in 2 weeks after Mania, right before Backlash, we're in Ohio, where she's from, makes sense now. Hindsight, brilliant thing.
And it looks like they have something for her now.
Yes, and and the crowd was into it. Like, the crowd, Zelina started the match, and it was like a whole big thing. And when they made that hot tag, man, whoo-wee. And if her and Chelsea If that's going to be the program with no, it doesn't need a belt. They don't need a title. But I'm into her and Chelsea. That'd be fun. Right? Fry and I talked about it before Mania. If that's where they go with that, I'm good with it. It doesn't need a belt. Those two can carry that feud without a belt. They're big name stars. Even Zelina gets involved. That was a kind of a really fun moment. You know, she came back, she got the pin, did her whole couple big move sets, and it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm sure anybody that has missed Alexa Bliss had a lot of fun with it.
Yes, and I'm like I just said,
women on the SmackDown card, by the way, top notch. Because that brings us to our next little spot that we had. We got Tiffany Stratton in the ring with Jade Cargill threatening, with Nia Jax being like, nah, you come through me first. And, you know, not Jade Cargill like, okay, like, you don't scare me. Pretty good match going on. Eventually Naomi gets involved. People all start getting involved. People start cleaning each other out.
At ringside, Jade's husband and former second baseman of the Cincinnati Reds.
You know, I love family at ringside. Look at the story we got with Drew McIntyre at Mania and Mama CM Rhodes. Punk with his wife right there. Mama Rhodes. This stuff makes so much fun. A couple years ago, it was what was it?
AJ Styles' wife and
Zack Ryder's dad or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that. I was thinking more Samoa Joe.
I think Mrs. Dad. Like, all this stuff, I love it. It's fun. I love having the family at ringside, especially if they're like getting into it. It makes for epic television.
John Cena's father that got Punk kicked into the second row.
Oof.
You don't remember that? That was probably a time when you weren't watching.
Probably. Although I'm not surprised. Could you see him before the kick or just after?
Randy ripped him over the barricade, backed up, and Pat McAfee'd his head.
Needless to say, we had the 4 big women that are in the title hunt right now get involved. I don't know where they're going with that. Maybe a 4-way down the road here. That's what it kind of looks like, the way they're going. The Queen. We got a Queen sighting. First time since Mania. They booed the hell out of her.
And she just ate them up. She did exactly what you'd want her to do. And we were in a Discord with people that were laughing about it. And I think myself, maybe Ryan, and probably Mike, who you've seen on the channel many times, we're all like, no, this is perfect. Because if they were going to cheer her, probably goes a different way. But since they booed her, she
getting the Dominic Mysterio route.
Did it perfectly.
Old Dom. Now they love Dom. See, this is how this works. It goes in circles. Wrestling's amazing. But yeah, I mean, she got literally like booed out of the arena area. We're not done with our Queen yet. We got a little tidbit there. We'll get to her. Then we got Mello, Miz, and Aleister Black. Again, this is new. Aleister Black's returning. It's fun. This has been... I don't know where Mello and Miz are going to go, but it's fun right now.
I like their dynamic together.
Right. I mean, eventually Mello's going to dump him. We know this.
Yeah.
But until then, it's fun. Miz kind of being manager, sort of-ish. Eventually...
I mean, he still gets in the ring and everything.
Well, he wrestled the week prior, but he's like, I don't know. It's Miz on TV is just good for TV.
Yes.
Again, guy from that area, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't he from Cleveland? Yeah. So, hometown guy. They're playing up to it this weekend. It was all everybody's hometown.
Black mass. He gets hit with another black mass, too, and he sells it perfectly.
Aleister Black is a scary individual. I think if he was more of like an Undertaker type that had the creepiness with him like all the time, it would be, I mean a very good...
He's got the entrance. He literally comes out.
Right. But like I'm saying, like he's not always like the urn and the lightning bolts and like he's not a full sell on the I'm going to murder you with magic. He's just creepy magic that works for me. Love it though. They're doing good things. SmackDown has a very good plethora of people, to say the least. There was a promo somewhere in there of Solo and Jacob. Jacob weren't happy with Solo. We get the whole thing. More on that at Backlash.
I can't wait for that split coming.
We'll get to it at Backlash, my guy. John Cena comes out to close the night. I don't know what the counter, if somebody's counting at home, what now we're down to 24, 23, whatever the dates remaining are. Typical things happen. Somebody in a black sweatshirt tries to RKO him. He murders him. Oh, joke's on you. That wasn't Randy. Then Randy gets him. RKO's him to end his evening and send the crowd home happy. Epic foreshadowing. Randy, celebrate well. And that is our SmackDown big moments. That was kind of my highlight stuff. We had a Fraxium match in there with the Profits. We had Rey Fenix partnering with Andrade versus the Las Garza, whatever the hell they are, the minions. The minions of the evil LWO. Umberto and Angel.
Yeah.
They were on the card. It was a good night. I enjoyed Friday night. It was what it needed to be. It set up for Backlash the next night for the few big stuff and the stuff that wasn't. It was good. We've got we're building SummerSlam around the corner. We're gonna get there. I think we gotta go through a Money in the Bank first. But then we get to Backlash. AJ, how'd your picks do?
Looking at them as we can go over them real fast. I have to switch to the Discord, and there's the pick.
I think you got 5.
It did. Did you get a perfect?
Oh yeah.
Are we not doubling this year?
I have no idea. Of course, I get a perfect. We're not doubling. I don't know how it works. I got 6. I threw the towel over the shoulder and caught it behind my back, no problem. I don't do perfects all that often, so I'm going to celebrate this win. I'm in the lead right now. I might be tied, but I'm in the lead right now.
Yeah, you and Justin did a good job with a perfect pay-per-view. Fry, myself,
don't
Ron,
expect it again,
and Sean all at 5, and then Joe, Dev, Trenton, Ed, Rob, and Mike all with 4, and then Frog Splash, Darren, Brandon, and Hayden with 3, and then Hayden with 2 respectively.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but can we open this up to the YouTube world? Like, if y'all want in, it's now on a Google Doc. Just send DMs and we'll try to get you in, because the more people doing pick 'em with us, the better, right?
Absolutely. It just makes it a little weird for when Royal Rumble gets here.
Well, yeah, I mean, we like a good number, but still, I mean, if I don't know how many we have, how many we got, we like people. Come play pick 'em with us. We want you to pick and try to beat us. If you can stop, I mean, I believe the Guru won last season, right?
He did. He
guru'd the season. Asshole.
Shall we get into Backlash?
Yes, please.
All right. From St. Louis, Missouri, the Enterprise Center, 17,155 in attendance. The tagline for it is "One Last Time, Cena versus Orton." And oh boy, that place was loud. It was packed, and they made themselves very much known to be kind of like the Seahawks with the 12th man.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't get a lot to celebrate in St. Louis. Poor Blues.
We'll get to it because I thought it was something cool. And now, as you say that, maybe it was a Blues tribute, but I thought it was a St. Louis Rams tribute.
Everybody from that area misses the Rams, and I feel bad, but obviously they left for a reason, and it wasn't because you were packing the stadium every week.
All right, so let's start with the first match. Jacob Fatu defeating L.A. Knight.
Yeah!
Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre by pinfall. We'll get to the surprise in a little bit. Sounds like Drew might have a concussion, and Damian lost a couple teeth.
Yeah, I think they said they they do this. They stick them back in and hope that they grip. That's the right term, grip, face hugger.
I don't know. Usually if I lose a tooth, which
Britt Baker, where you at? DMD, get in here.
I just let it, be. I guess, I don't know. The match went 17 minutes 55 seconds, and these guys, what an opening match.
Late in the match, it kind of turned into a 2v.
Yes.
2 separate singles matches, one in the ring that mattered, and one where we're just gonna murder each other because we hate each other and don't care about the title.
Right when they are in the crowd and they do that suplex down about 10 feet into a couple tables, I think that's where Drew ends up getting the concussion, because if you see it, his head hits the ground.
And I wouldn't be shocked if the teeth, something with that weird landing, probably.
Yeah, probably.
On an elbow. I mean, who knows? Either way, so hope speedy recoveries for everybody involved.
But then
they look like they
hurt. LA Knight and Jacob, and that's how the match kind of started. That was the pairing when the match started. How they went off and got going. But just when you think LA is going to possibly win his title back, Solo comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And he's not alone.
No. Speaking of not alone, it's Jeff Cobb. Who
you don't know that guy and Jacob don't exactly get along.
No.
Like, they got history, and it ain't good. That's not good blood. That's kind of bad blood. So
and
Jacob kind of like, side-eye, my guy?
Also not related to the bloodline.
Didn't know that at the time. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? What brother, cousin, uncle is this?
Because it very much looked like Umaga.
Sure, I'll buy it if you'd have tattooed him, and I'd have thought, I'd be like, yeah, okay, like I said, which Oos is this?
But overall, a great match, a lot of storytelling, and just...
Did it look like to you that Jacob might be fearful of something?
Not that he's fearful. He gets the win off of the interference. First and foremost, keeps his title. But he doesn't want anything to do with Solo or now Jeff at all.
And he's side-eyed. Like, he was even when he went for the pin, he was side-eyeing them guys. Like, he's like, okay, I'll take the pin. What are you doing over there, my guy? Stay over there.
I think that's Solo's new enforcer, and they're about to bounce Jacob. And as over as Jacob is right now,
he don't need him.
No, he can go on his own, and everybody already loves him. When that happens, just like Dom, because if you put him against Solo or Jeff, Jacob's the good guy.
Yeah, I mean...
And it's not even close.
And I don't know, I mean, I'm sure he's probably still shelved for a bit, but you add like a Bronson Reed with Solo, and all of a sudden it's like, who's going to stop them? I mean, these are guys that are bigger and scarier than the Tongans, and them guys were nuts. I mean, we had a hyena guy. Yeah.
Tama Tonga.
That was like,
and then you have Tongaloa.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, get away from me. Like, back, demon, back. What do you? Yeah. Like, no.
Back. When I say back.
You know, like the weird hyena in the Lion King.
Ed.
Yeah, that one. Him. Nutso.
Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed.
I'll take your word for it. Ed, stay over there.
Scott. Drop him. Impeccable timing, Your Majesty.
But yeah, that was fun.
Do that whole movie. It's not good.
I bet you could, you scary individual.
I keep going. I can do the
Are they
Dark
on the
Knight
wall?
too.
Are they on the wall behind you? No. Yeah. That I like Rafiki. Rafiki was my favorite character. Ain't afraid to hit you in the head with a stick because you're being a dumbass.
No. Oh, yes. It's just Rafiki and I can't wait to be King Simba with the lay around his head.
Gotcha. Must just be the one that
I don't have Timon and Pumbaa.
Were they damaged in the water incident? I might be right.
Probably. Remember, that's like almost 5 years ago already.
They got flooded downstream, my guy.
Next match
You know,
Lyra,
Timon would have been riding on Pumbaa's belly like Pumbaa was a raft.
well, that happened in 1.5.
Just saying.
Lyra
Repeats.
Valkyria defeating Becky Lynch for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. 18 minutes, 45 seconds. And this kind of was a little bit of a come down from the first match and how crazy and chaotic it was. And by no means I thought it was bad. At all.
Just not as
Not as
whoa.
psychotic as a Fatal 4-Way for another championship.
The
storytelling in this match was nuts.
This is the first time that I've actually kind of like, okay, I'll buy Lyra.
Do you buy Lyra because of what she's done, or you just don't want Becky to win the title?
I don't think I cared about Becky winning the title so much as I think this, getting to watch this full match and her, like, I think it's just been her length of her matches. I mean, it's like she comes in and she just does what she's got to do and it's over.
Well, this time,
I mean,
Becky put her through the ropes.
This isn't the first time they fought. I mean,
yes,
NXT people.
NXT for the title. Lyra
Kind of
took
funny.
it off of Becky.
Lyra's 2-0 in title fights against Becky. Does that make her Lyra 2 bells? I've beat you twice.
Hey, I don't know if it's Joe or Jake or whoever. Hi.
Yeah?
On TikTok, they say, sup boys, happy Monday. Oh, I just can't wait to go home.
Ooh, somebody's still at work.
And then, obviously, the Jey Uso every single week shows up in the TikTok chat, says, 4 letters, 1 word, I'll let TJ do it.
Yeet!
All that set up for that. But yeah, appreciate all.
Well, I mean, it's like laying the belt down, and asking for the restart. Somewhere out there, we have a counter going, right?
We do. Don't.
Like, for everybody at home, when we watch, somebody hits a start button on a stopwatch when Jay comes out, stops when the music stops, waits for the belt to get laid down and refire. We are counting. We have a Jey Uso entrance music counter going that we are just kind of we keep it to ourselves, but it's just kind of funny to see how every week it changes. I think like it's usually about 3.5 minutes on the normal entrance, and you get like another 1.5 minutes, bumps it up to like 5 minutes total. Maybe I don't know if do we get at the end of the night? Does that add into the nightly total of the yeet?
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue on that one because that means WrestleMania is huge.
I can imagine. But it's our little fun game we like to play anytime the yeeter's on TV.
I was about to do the math of what we have so far, but WrestleMania.
I can just see you as John C. Reilly with the equations flying around your brain.
7 minutes 45 seconds. The Raw after Mania, 5 minutes and 52 seconds, and 4 minutes last week.
Yeet!
A lot of eating, and he's been eating all over the place.
Yeah, I mean,
But back to Lyra and Becky. This went, I felt the way I wanted it to go. I love the sequence when they're both putting each other in arm bars and just rolling around the ring. Lyra continuing to do her flippy dippy doodah, and Becky just trying to ground her. And for a good portion of the match,
working.
Well, a good portion of the match, Lyra was grounded. And then once she got going. It's like starting the engine, it's cold. And after it runs for a little bit,
I feel like, for me, I wish this had started Lyra's run.
Okay.
Like, now it's like, it's good, because at least now it's like, but I feel like this is what should have started it. Like, she kind of, they had it on NXT, but not everybody watches NXT. So if you missed it or you don't watch it all the time, you don't know. But, like, it's just been, like Lyra's run to the top and getting the Intercontinental title and her run into the Queen of the Ring. It's just, it wasn't hitting on all cylinders for me. This one was hitting on all cylinders. I'm starting to buy it. I'm seeing the legitimacy.
And
she's got some credibility wins.
To be fair, I know. For anybody watching that knows me, I'll say he's in Meriden, because James a big portion of the Nerds channel. Um, I've always been behind Lyra. I've liked her work since NXT, and I've been praising her. And I know you guys have been very critical of her.
Well,
And
she's stepping out of Becky's shadow finally.
that promo they had on Monday was huge.
Yup.
I am no longer Becky Lynch. I am Lyra Valkyria.
And the armor for Becky Lynch for me has been chipping away. And when you really take a look at the Becky Lynch as a whole, Becky Lynch got made by a broken nose.
Yeah.
At that point, she was a star, but she wasn't the man.
No. Her
right? Like
her with the SmackDown Live t-shirt, blood gushing out of her nose, and just like this in the crowd.
And Nia Jax mentioned it in a promo at one point, and I'm like, man, that hits, that tracks.
If I didn't,
it was that
nose,
started the whole. That's what started the whole thing with Becky for the next 5 years up until she has a kid and COVID,
and who knows, maybe she gets Christmas cutted.
I just, who knows? Who knows? knows.
Match number 3. Dominic Mysterio defeating Penta for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Less than 10 minutes. But boy, did a lot of stuff happen. How about that suicide dive DDT? Holy cow. I thought it was just going to be a regular suicide dive. No, he gets around Penta's head and they swings into a DDT. And even Cole and Wade at ringside were popping pretty hard for. Oh, before we go any further, huge shout out to Wade Barrett. I felt like he not carried Michael Cole, but he was a huge part of this night, as we'll talk about in the next match.
Especially, yes.
I just want to give Wade Barrett, even though he'll never see this, his flowers. He has come such a long way as a commentator, even though as much as I want him in the ring. I
liked him in the ring. I never was a Wade Barrett hater.
I want him back. I love Bad News.
Yeah.
But he is a hell of a commentator.
Yeah. Understands the business.
And I know we got Cole on Mondays and Testator leading the show on Fridays. He could lead a show.
Yeah.
They could give him the reins and people would eat it up. Because he just doesn't... As much as I love JR would throw out terms that if you weren't a hardcore fan or haven't been listening to him for years, might jump over you. Wade speaks like how Pat does to you as a person and tells you what's going on in the ring as a person. And it just resonates very well. And last night, Michael Cole and Wade were gorgeous. I hope that's the team that they go with when Pat
back to
college, but that means him leaving SmackDown with Testator to go over to Raw, and I don't know if they would do that. That might be a Corey
I have a
Graves
feeling Corey Graves will be involved.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'd love to hear Corey Graves and Barrett on the same table.
Ooh, good one.
I don't know who would be the heel or what, but I think it'd be fun. But yeah, this match can I throw out a little, like, one of those weird little spoilers for this? Anybody else think Finn purposely got them thrown out?
Yes, 100%. Finn took his time and waited for the ref to basically be done with what he was doing.
Oh, you're caught. Goodbye. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm getting of this, is that he's trying to screw him without screwing him.
I can't wait for the huge turn.
And I'm wondering, too, with Liv being gone when she gets back, is she going to call him out on it? That's my
I still
that's my
think she's
future
running the
predicting.
show. I still think she's telling everybody what to do.
Think she's at the cauldron. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. But it's not Judgment Day who decides this match. It's Grande Americano. Or, I'm sorry, El Grande Americano.
Did you see the sign in the crowd the other week where somebody said he's a DEI hire?
Yes.
It's like, oh my god. Can we
Can we not go there?
Golly.
But I love how they keep going with this. The only issue I have, honestly, with this, there were only 2 matches on the card that didn't have interference. I think people are interfering in matches way too much. I understand that it keeps the story going and it helps create more branches off said stories. But could we just get a clean win every once in a while? Like,
you want a clean finish in a wrestling match?
No, they could have a smosh and do all that stuff. That's fine. It's too much. People are getting involved
too often.
Much. Too often.
Too much, too often.
Especially,
Save them for. It's not. I feel like what you're saying there is because it happens so much. Like a Jeff showing up like he did isn't as impactful because it's like, well, every week somebody new like appears, especially with the Bloodline. I mean, my God, how many Bloodline members are we actually at that have been on TV or seen? I mean, we got the Tongans. They put Bronson Reed in there. Solo, it's one big. It keeps going on. There are a lot of them. Apparently, they were on Stephanie's Places. All of them.
Yes, it was a very good episode. A very good episode. They were on Roman Reigns.
Check that show out. Is that where Roman is right now, licking his big dog wounds?
But Dominic,
thing is, he couldn't even come save his Oos. He had to, CM Punk had to save the Oos.
But Dom gets the win with El Grande Americano's steel-headed headbutt.
I feel like the big pay-per-view coming, Worlds Collide for them, is gonna somewhere on there. El Grande is gonna get unmasked. That's my spoiler prediction for that. Right, I feel like that's what they're building to. Like it works out perfect that we're gonna have a big old luchador crossover event. That'd be the perfect place for Chad to get unmasked. For El Grande to be El Tino. El Tinio? El Tinio Gable.
Let's go into match number 4 of the night, TJ. One of the most anticipated, at least for me, matches of the evening.
Did it hit you in the feels, AJ? Was it ringing all the old-timey bells?
It's Gunther defeating Pat McAfee by technical submission. And
this match felt old school to me.
I could see that. I 100% could see that. It also felt like Pat had no reason to be there, but was surprising Gunther at every step of the way with what he's doing. It felt like Gunther, for the most part.
This is Pat's 3rd match?
4th.
4th?
5th.
Austin Theory.
Gunther. Adam Cole. War Games.
Oh,
Austin
okay, yeah, that's
Theory,
right. They did fight more than the War Games.
Gunther. I can't think of the last one.
We'll call it 4 to 5 and just leave it at that. 4 to 5.
And Pat McAfee was pulling out all his normal tricks and shenanigans. And it felt like Gunther was in control literally the whole time.
I think this is the match that tripped a lot of people up in the pick'em. I know it got the Guru.
Really? He thought Pat McAfee was going to win?
Ryan told me he thought there would be more shenanigans that would lead to Pat getting the victory one way or the other, whether it be DQ or however.
By shenanigans? Are they talking, here comes the Pat McAfee show crew?
I'm assuming that's what he meant by shenanigans.
That
AJ, what's the name of that restaurant you like? You know, with all the weird stuff on the wall?
shenanigans?
Shenanigans? Shenanigans? Oh.
You threw me off on what I was gonna say. Dang it.
Pat McAfee show, people showing up that we were talking about prior to Shenanigans.
Yeah, I honestly was expecting that, but I couldn't. I thought this was gonna be Gunther getting rid of Pat until the end of January, basically. I thought that's what this match was going to do, is write him off.
I think it's a little early, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. But
A little more fall that we got to lose Pat.
at least August. Maybe a
Right.
little
I mean,
before August.
I think they start before the NFL.
Yes, they do. But the match felt like Gunther never lost control. He just lost an edge here or there. And Pat was surprising him a little bit. And at the end of the show, or the end of the match, the somewhat sign of respect, is there a chance that could be Gunther kind of turning a little bit? Because
I don't see Gunther turning, period. But maybe.
It was weird to see him just,
This was also the match you were talking about where Michael Cole leaves the headset behind and tries to save his friend.
Yeah, and we're talking about heels doing sketchy stuff. The good guys are doing sketchy stuff. Holds the feet down.
That's an old trick, though. That's an old trick. Grab the foot. Don't let him do the thing. Usually it leads to like a roll-up or something.
This match was very much surprising. I thought this wasn't going to be as good as it ended up being. Granted, it was still what it was. But
isn't it fun that these guys that we don't expect to be putting on these banger matches now just put on these banger matches? Bad Bunny.
I wouldn't call it a banger match. I would call this a serviceable pay-per-view.
But I mean, it's a good story match. It's a good wrestling match.
Yes, it was a very good story between, Gunther, Cole, and Pat going to bat for Cole.
I mean, Pat's not a professional wrestler, yet he looks like he's been doing this his whole life. Like he knows how to tell the story.
He did have a couple slip-ups, which
he doesn't do it every week.
He's not a full-time guy. 100%.
Right.
Understandable. But overall, to set this in the fourth spot of the night, right before the main event,
they trusted them in this spot.
Shall we get
to
the main event?
I think we should.
That went 27 minutes and 50 seconds.
I think this is how I had it. I mean, obviously I went perfect. I'm gonna keep talking about that. This is how I thought this would end. I'm not sure this is how I thought we'd get to the ending.
John Cena defeats Randy Orton by pinfall to retain the undisputed WWE Championship.
Continue ruining wrestling.
I'm loving it. I know I'm in the minority. I love bad guy Cena, and I'll touch on other stuff afterwards because I think where it might be leading is going to be
the
fun.
Payoff eventually is going to be amazing.
Yeah, R-Truth is going to take the belt off of him at Saturday night's main event.
That poor guy. Ron, I'm sorry, my guy. Imagine what he's going through right now.
His
childhood hero just put him through a table after basically telling him he's an idiot.
We had an over-under in the chat of how many RKOs Orton was going to hit, and the line was 7.
Oh.
We had 11.
I was going to say, him man was, if you came out to the ring, he would get RKO'd. And poor... who would have thought R-Truth saves John Cena? Like, what?
I wasn't thinking of it in the time, in the moment, but R-Truth has been saying very vocally, "Let's go Cena," and don't listen to those people that say Cena suck. The crowd was hot during this match. There was a lot of "this is awesome," and then there was a little portion of the crowd that said, "No, it's not.
You still can't wrestle.
Yes, he can."
You can't wrestle. Yes, he can.
And then obviously, let's go Cena, let's go Orton, or Cena sucks. This was fun. At the
Are
end
we
of
done with it? You think we're done with it?
I don't know. I'm okay if it's done. It says one last time, which you know how wrestling is. You never say never.
One more time.
But at the end of it, even with it flip flopped with good guy, bad guy, I didn't get emotional, but I was like, I've probably watched every single one of their matches against each other from the beginning.
Is it hitting you? Is this pay per view hitting you in the feels, my guy?
It's kind of
like you've crossed that bridge of where you're old enough now that wrestlers you rooted for when you were young are retiring. I feel like that's the true mark of a wrestling fan.
There's a guy I work with that enjoys wrestling, and his kid enjoys wrestling. He was a kid when Cena debuted.
Not a kid anymore.
His son is a kid when Cena is leaving.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where you got into the biz, your heroes get old and go away at some point, and like I said, I think that's the true mark of a wrestling fan. And if you've been there to span a career.
I'm happy John's able to do this, and it looks like he's in a way having fun with it. Because if you've listened to the interviews with him or somebody else, or Triple H, or
I hope somebody's filming this,
yeah,
and it comes out later as a documentary, because he's got to be laughing off camera about all this.
Like
it's gotta be happy.
I can't believe somebody threw a beer can at me.
A Mick Ultra at that. I mean, my God.
And that's what I said. I go, Friday night when we were watching, it's working.
By the way, that guy, that rude and nasty fan was ejected from the arena.
Oh, yeah.
For throwing that beer can, you know.
I mean, at any sporting event, unless it's hockey, you throw stuff on.
Ow! Remember the NWO third man moment? Mean Gene got freaking bloodied.
But Cena defeats Orton. There's plenty of RKOs. The whole producers team and Nick Aldis eats RKOs. R-Truth sliding in to protect John Cena eats an RKO. And then Cena gets hit with an RKO multiple times. One of them is an attitude adjustment turning into an RKO, which I've seen that
out of
before.
nowhere.
It's so cool how he kind of like twists his body a little bit.
The way Randy can hit an RKO on somebody else's finisher is crazy. I think maybe like if he ever had figured out how to flip out of a tombstone and get one, that might have taken the cake.
Now, I don't know if you watched after the match, after he took the mic and when he was leaving. Did you happen to see Cena's face? Like when he grabs the towel and starts walking towards the back? Dude looks like he's about to start crying. Seriously.
I don't think I saw it with that in detailed as you.
I very much, and a little part of me was thinking, I was like, is it starting to turn him already? You don't think I think it'd be too early. I think after SummerSlam is when he starts to come back to his senses.
Well, I mean, he was trying to make amends with the media before he was rudely interrupted.
You say one more thing, and there are going to be repercussions. I was just...
Well, he told the media, I will field all questions. I need to be better with you and all that. And then, truth. I don't know if we're going to call that a truth bomb.
Have you noticed that Michael Cole and Wade Barrett are starting to call Cena's moves back to what they were called?
Like the bad guy?
The STFU instead of the STF. I'm waiting to start hearing the FU. I don't know if they'll get that far, but he just got FU'd. Might be a little too much, but
When Cena says, say no more things or you die, you gon' die.
But TJ, the pay-per-view following WrestleMania, final thoughts.
Fun. It was fun. Nothing caught me off guard on this one. It went how I thought. I thought it must be coming up another. I thought we were getting a Jey Uso Logan Paul thing. That must be coming up. Not on this card.
Saturday
obviously.
night's main event, I think it got pushed to. I think it was originally supposed to be Backlash.
I thought maybe. I mean, whatever. We'll get there. The card was good for what we had. We got a lot of stories to come out of it. What do we got? Main event coming. We got Money in the Bank, and then SummerSlam. And I know the time. Like, there's not a lot of they've got it's spaced well. And we've got Raw in less than an hour.
Which, we got a whole wrestling group that we watch stuff with. It's so much fun to watch it with people. It really is.
Like being there, but not. You know what I mean?
Kind of. And
as long as you ain't got a guy going behind you, going the final boss.
And our group, though, I gotta give it to our group. Our group is very fun together.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I can confirm.
I'm excited for Saturday night's main event. That's the next one we're doing.
The next big thingy might be the dingy.
What they call this? Saturday night's main event 39. And the only thing they have scheduled is the Jey Uso Logan Paul match.
I imagine we might get like a tag title fight. We're getting Jesse back, right?
I still think we're gonna see Cena maybe in a match.
In a match.
Well,
I mean, that might be the appearance that dumps us below 20 left.
Well, he's being showcased on the poster of it.
Oh.
From Tampa, Florida's Yuengling Center, May 24th.
Who plays there? Not the Bucks. Not the Rays. Lightning?
No. South Florida. Hold on. South Florida Bulls men's basketball, women's basketball, and volleyball. And
the WNBA.
It was the Thunderdome for a portion of the year for WWE.
Oh, okay.
And also the Tampa Bay Strikers, which is a national indoor soccer team.
Okay. Yingling, that's that beer that's randomly on like a Ty Dillon car, right?
Yes.
Austin Dillon. Other Dillon. Hey, Dillon.
One of them. All right, well, let's take her home and get ready for Raw tonight, pal.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably might get a Cena. We know there's going to be yeeting. The yeeting will continue.
Yeah, they're going to yeet all over the place. All right,
might
everybody.
even yeeting here, yeeting there, yeeting on the desk.
We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. Have a good night, and we will see you Thursday for the regular Nerds show while we're reviewing The Greatest Showman.
Did you like Transformers?
There were a couple of them I liked. By couple, I mean like two. The rest kind of sucked.
Michael Bay overdoes it.
Yes, he does. Take care, everybody.
Yeet!